Hello, race fans, and welcome to the official NASCAR iRacing series presented by V8's Online. It's week 8, and we're coming to you live from the Lady in Black, the track Too Tough to Tame. That's right, we're here in Darlington for 183 laps around this egg-shaped speedway. It's going to be wonderful as tonight's broadcast is presented in glorious high definition and brought to you by Track Racer, Sim Instruments, and Get Dirty MX. My name's JD Smith, and with me tonight to call the action is good old friend Kane Kraft. And Kane, we got a week 8 extravaganza, buddy. It's a tough week for these guys. What is going on, buddy?
Exciting day today. Darlington has always provided such great racing for these cars, and it's a little scary. It's a tough track, but man, it makes for some exciting racing as well.
To many, it is the birthplace of NASCAR. It's one of the very first paved speedways that NASCAR raced on, and it has a lot of special meaning in stock car racing. This place is legendary, and you know it if you've ever gotten a chance to even get near the place. It's in Darlington, South Carolina, and it's everything about it says stock car racing, Kane. I mean, it is, just being at Darlington, you just know all of the heroes of racing that have been there. And it's just great. And the drivers tonight, it's one of the most challenging tracks. To me, it is the most challenging track on the entire schedule. And I think a lot of the drivers tonight will agree. We're going to see a lot of interesting things tonight, Kane. A lot of drivers don't spend a lot of time at Darlington. They almost write it off as like they say, it's too tough to tame. So they just write it off. Let's work on another track that we know we can do well at. It makes it really, really interesting to see who can do well at Darlington. We may have a surprise on our hands tonight, Kane. We may see somebody new in Victory Lane when this one's all said and done.
That has been the going trend so far. It seems like every week we've got somebody new in Victory Lane, just like the real NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Every week someone new is taking the victory. I don't think we've had someone win twice yet, so if they have, I'm not able to place it, but I think we've
Yeah,
had someone new each and every week.
absolutely, and that's what shows you the talent level and the amount of talent we have in the NASCAR iRacing Series top split. There's no one dominant machine out there. Now we do have a points leader, Kane, but that doesn't mean that they have dominated the season because they by far have not. No one has. In fact, if I had to pick a winner who was going to win it all this year, I'd here in week 8, I'd be stuck. I couldn't give you an answer at all. And you go to a lot of sports and you go 8 weeks in, you can pretty much tell who's who. And we're still trying to figure out who's who in our series, and that's an awesome thing. That is an amazing. We're very lucky to have that such good, diverse talent here in the NASCAR iRacing Series and this Road to Pro Challenge. And tonight we're going to kick it off like we just mentioned, 183 laps around this unique Darlington track. Now, team owners and team crew chiefs have been hard at work all week long. The guys that get sent out for help with their setups, boy, they have had a tough time this week, Came. There's no right setup or wrong setup, I guess. There's plenty of wrong, but there's not a right setup for Darlington. You cannot get both sides of this track tuned in. What you have to do is pick either turns 1 and 2 or 3 and 4. And that's what these guys have to go with. Most of our drivers will be picking to try to get tuned in to turns 3 and 4. And the reason for that is when it comes down to the end of the race, that might be just that added push they need to win or to edge out a win. You know, it's so different between 1 and 2. It's a lot. Turns 1 and 2 is a lot wider than turns 3 and 4. It's very tight. Like we mentioned, it's an egg-shaped track. It gets very difficult in turns 3 and 4. And if you look on the exit of turn 4, that's why they call it the Lady in Black, because the black stripes that are put on the walls, these cars, to run fast around Darlington, Kane, you have to really run right on the edge of the wall the entire racetrack. You have to use every inch of this raceway, and that's exactly what the fast boys will do. And sometimes they will just barely scrape that wall, and sometimes, unfortunately, some will hit it hard enough to bring out a caution and maybe even end their day.
Yeah, that's easy to do here. Just get going a little too fast and hit that wall harder than what you want to hit it and ruin not only your race, but maybe the drivers behind your race, and definitely cause some pretty big problems.
It always is such an amazing thing when we talk about Darlington, and it's a track that we don't visit very often. And in fact, this is my first time ever going to be here with an NASCAR iRacing Series race, and getting ready for the top split. One thing I noticed is the spectator room tonight is slap full of people, just about everybody wanting to see what's going to happen here tonight in this series at Darlington. And it's a lot of young drivers that are up and coming in the world of sim racing, Kane, are going to be watching these guys tonight because they want to know how they can run this track. I know that if I go out in racing in my sim career and I go out, I look at Darlington and I'm almost a big question mark is thrown up because I don't know how to run this thing safely. It's so difficult. You have to be so good in your racecraft, Kane. It's going to be really hard for these guys to pass tonight. It'll be very important for them to get good track position and hold on to that track position.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenging track. It's going to be something that these guys are really going to have to probably spend a lot of the race working on their setup throughout the whole race, trying to get it dialed in and just working on figuring it out throughout the whole race. They may have spent lots of time practicing in practice mode, but racing is a little bit different, and I'll bet these guys will start off nice and easy and then really work into it as we get going and try to get it figured out. Or it could start just the opposite, and it could start off as chaos.
Yeah, that's absolutely a wonderful point. That's the thing is, I don't think that anybody will is going to be satisfied with a setup. There's not going to be a great setup out there. They're just going to have to deal with it, and it's going to be who can adapt to whatever setup they have, and who can make it work. That's going to be the key. Can you make it work? Yes, it's not going to be perfect, but there is no such thing as a perfect setup at Darlington. It's impossible unless you can have a car that can change between 1 and 2 and then 3 and we just can't do that. So you have to adapt, and it's very difficult. That's one of the reasons that this track is so challenging. But like we said, there's some drivers that are so good at adapting to different situations, different scenarios, and those are the drivers that typically do very well here. I know some drivers are very excited to be here, but I want to look at the starting grid tonight as we're already getting ready tonight to get out here on this track. And we got a new pole sitter. It's going to be Malik Ray is sitting on the pole tonight. And so congratulations to Malik Ray. Chad Lawton will be starting second. Josh Skrupa will be starting in the third spot, with Jared Crawford, who's been very dangerous, starting in fourth. Anthony Kernich with a great tonight. He's going to be starting in the fifth spot, as well as Jordan Worth in sixth. Patrick Crabtree will be starting in the seventh position, with eighth going to Tyler Hudson. Justin Bolton will be starting ninth, and Ryan Lowe rounds out our top 10. Guys are off, and the pace laps have started. In 11th, it will be Steven Azzini. 12th will be Tyler Lawland. Jordy Lopez Jr. will be starting 13th. Josh Fox will be starting 14th tonight. Case Brinksma 15th. Back in the 16th position, it will be Brad Davies and Adam Gilliland 17th. Billy Price 18th. Timu Livinen in the 19th spot, with Chris Hall 20th. Tyler Hill 21st, Robin Williams 22nd, 23rd, Nathan Saxon, Al McCormick 24th, 25th, Greg McKinney. Then it goes Brandon Coppinger, Benjamin Burmeister, Matthew Wright, Charlie Foster, and Brad Newman rounding out our 30-car field. Everybody watching Malik Ray up front, getting ready for the start of this fantastic race ahead of us. All eyes on the pace car as we get set to get this bad boy started. And Kane, I cannot wait. This is Darlington at its best. The pace car is off, and let's get mean. We're going green, boys. This is it, Darlington. Let's get it started. great jump off of the start for Malik Ray. Also Chad Lawton with another nice jump as well. Back in the third position, it is Josh Krupa in the number 29 machine. Jared Crawford holds down the fourth spot, but got a great jump around. He actually is going to jump up into the third position ahead of Josh Krupa. So a very good job right there by Jared Crawford. Really nice job by him tonight to get a great start here. And we're going to see how these guys can kind of settle in early, Kane. It makes it really tough. And just kind of watch out there and see what happens early
Lots
in
of
this
new
race.
cars out on the track tonight for Darlington.
Yeah, there really is. I'm actually loading the paints up again and again to make sure I get them all loaded up. And almost a duff moment here with Timu Livinen and Tyler Hill. Kind of a scary moment. Billy Price leads that pack of cars. That is the start of 14th position. Ahead of them is the next pack. It's Brad Davies in the 12th position. Adam Gilliland in 11th. Ahead of them, Josh Fox rides alone. He tries to catch up to Jordy Lopez Jr. Jordy Lopez back in the Ford Fusion this week. Going to be fun to see how he does in the Ford. He's had a nice run in the Chevy, and right now really gaining some ground on Tyler Lawland up in the 8th position. He is now back in traffic.
So far, so good on the start. Getting ready to go over to lap 5, and the guys are still doing pretty good. They're starting off nice and easy, just like I'd said, and they'll probably work into it a little bit more as we get going.
In the number 16 machine, it is Anthony Kernich. He's currently riding in the 7th position. Started in 5th, only lost 2 spots, but he's doing okay now. He's seemed to settle in a nice groove. Here on the inside, here goes Tyler Hudson around Jordan Worth, and it is Tyler Hudson moving up another spot. He will move into the 5th position. So the Peak Ford Fusion will creep up into the top 5 now. It's only lap 5, and in those short 5 laps, Tyler Hudson has moved from 8th up to 6th, or 5th, excuse me. That's a tough task here at Darlington.
So far, right off the bat, let's check the gains and see who's gained the most positions in the first 6 laps here. We've got 7 position gains for Benjamin Burmeister. He's up into the 20th position. And Tyler Lawlins gained 4 positions. Jordy Lopez Jr. has gained 4 positions. Adam Gilliland's gained 6 position. Brad Davies 4. Billy Price gained 5. There is some people making their way through this field, and it's making for some exciting racing.
It's great to see these guys coming out to a good start, buddy.
Yeah, most definitely. They really have started this race nice and easy. We're definitely seeing a good, clean start to this race, which after last night's race, I'm really glad to see these guys taking it nice and slow. Well, not slow is not the right word, but nice and easy.
There you go. Nice and easy is the perfect explanation. And even though we had some tough caution field races they still have been fantastic races. And but just to see a good race that's going to be full of green flag runs will be really good. And that's what I hope to see here at Darlington. Now, looking at our leader, Malik Ray, still doing a fantastic job out in the lead at the moment in the number 12 JDR Graphics Chevrolet. He's right ahead of Jared Crawford in the number 2 Monster Chevrolet, and Jared Crawford looks really good right now. Now, Jared, he's right there on the bumper, about a half a length behind our leader. And Jared started in the 4th position, and he looks like he's about ready to make a move on the inside. Let's kind of keep an eye and see if he'll make a move on our leader. Ooh, and Malik Ray kind of comes down a little bit to get in the way a little bit, but a nice run by the number 2, and Jared, for the first time today in lap 11, becomes our new leader.
Yeah, he looked pretty easy for him there. It looked like it wasn't too difficult at all. So Jared Crawford definitely has got good speed tonight. course, we've been seeing this week after week from Jared. He's definitely has had good speed throughout the entire season. I mean, there's been a few races where he's had a little bit of bad luck that's cost him some pretty good points, but he's definitely been one to keep an eye out for this series.
That's right, and I said it wrong a minute ago. Malik Ray is in the Skittles Chevrolet, and that thing looks awesome this week. Loving the Kyle Busch-inspired scheme there. The Skittles Chevrolet out there.
Yeah, Jared Crawford up front. He's in the Monster Energy Drink scheme this week. We see him most weeks in the Samsung vehicle, the beautiful blue Samsung vehicle. This week he's opted for the Monster Energy Drink, and that too is an awesome looking paint scheme. So good job to these guys on having some unique and awesome looking paints. It really makes the authenticity that much better in the series.
It really does, Kane, and it's really cool watching them bring it out for Darlington. Track means a lot to a lot of guys, and here comes Chad Lawton now on his way up to, looks like he's in position to maybe start to make a move on second place driver Malik Ray, and there's a familiar paint right there as the Viper paint of Chad Lawton. Looks like he could be in position to make a move here, and he goes down on the inside, and he's going to have to use all that speed he carried into the corner. Makes him ride up onto the embankment pretty high. It's going to be tough for him, but in the Viper Chevy, he's doing a good job right now of hanging position here on lap 15. Just don't want to do too much too early. Tyler Hudson has gained another spot as he's passed Josh Krupa in the number 29 machine. Tyler Hudson has moved up into the 4th position, and Kane, he doesn't look to be slowing down.
A little bit of a gap between him and 3rd place Chad Lawton, so we'll be able to kind of judge his
here
speed.
comes Brad Davies, Kane. He's passing Jordy Lopez Jr., and it almost looked like Jordy was standing still. The number 14 machine of Brad Davies really pushing up through the field as he moves up into the 8th position. Kane, that car of Brad Davies started 16th.
Yeah, Brad Davies is one that we have seen week after week have some pretty good speed, but he's also been struck with disaster week after week. So I would be very excited to see Brad Davies have a very good week and a good finish, and kind of get through that bad luck bug that he's had.
Me too, buddy. I'd like to see old Brad Davies in the way that he's running it right now, Kane. I'd say he has a good chance to be up there at the front. He's already mowed down half of the field between him and the leader, and a very nice job there by Brad Davies in the number 14 Chevrolet. He looks good right now. Tell you what,
Ryan Lowe having some problems back in the 30th place, now hitting pit road. I don't know if maybe he's got into the wall and got some damage, but definitely going into the pits for Ryan Lowe in the number 5.
Yeah, Ryan Lowe, I was kind of checking in on him to see. It looked like what happened to him, Kane, is he was one of the victims of riding a little too hot into the turn and caught a little bit of the wall. The barrier up there, hit it pretty nicely. I didn't think he hit it hard enough to have to come down and pit, but what happened was he had the leader right there. He was about to get lapped anyways, and he got down off the apron because he didn't want to mess up the guys up front. And I think as he was down on the apron, he said, well, I'm down here, I might as well go get this damage repaired. And so he just tucked it on into the pits to get that out of the way. Kind of an interesting strategy of circumstance there. Tell you what, a driver we haven't talked much about today, but we've seen have a phenomenal season so far. He's back in the 21st position in the BestWestern.com Chevy is Justin Bolton. He's back in the 21st position at the moment, and right now he's all by himself, but he seems to be having minor connection issues.
It's unusual to see Justin Bolton in the back like this, but a couple weeks we've seen him start in the back and work his way through the field, so it's still early in the race. I definitely think there's a good chance we could see Justin Bolton up toward the pointy end of this field by the time this race gets toward the end of the race.
One thing we haven't mentioned much about, Kane, is the fuel window, and I'm thinking these guys can get around 75 to 80 laps on a full tank. That's going to be stretching it, of course, but it'll be fun to see what they can get. I'm guessing we're going to say 75 on a full tank, so we'll keep an eye on that as we continue our green run. From the beginning of the race, we're still green, so that's a good sign of things to come, and we'll keep a close eye on our pit strategies throughout the race.
These guys really do have the skill to run these races green, as we've seen several really long green flag runs in this series so far. We have had a couple caution field races that were still pretty exciting, even though there was some cautions, but last night in the NASCAR Peak Series, watching these guys run, they definitely seem to be running this series a little more cautiously than that one. That one, I know there's a lot more at stake, but they got a little wild last night.
I want to watch a four-way battle for position right now. Kane, if you'll focus in on the number 9 machine of Jordy Lopez Jr. has his hands full as he has Jordan Worth in the WingQuest Chevrolet right there behind him. But right now, also the 9 machine trying to make his way around Tyler Lawlin, and he is going to get a great run, and it will get by him. Tyler a little bit slow now down on the inside in the gmercer.com as Adam Gilliland, and Adam is slowing up, having to get on the brake stuff through there, is saving some trouble. That could have been a little nasty. Beautiful move, though, for Jordy Lopez Jr. He'll move up a spot up into 6th place. And this is a nice, we had a four-way battle. It's going to tighten back up again as we have the 17 car of Billy Price joining Jordan Worth. And here comes Adam Gilliland on the inside. He'll make his way around the number 8 of Tyler Lawlin. And here comes the 17, Billy Price on the high side.
Billy Price, another driver having a great race today. He's been, contact made by, who was that? I can't believe the caution ain't out. Jordan Worth made contact, spun the car sideways. Let's go to a race recall replay and check that one out. Well, I just could not think of his name for nothing. It was right there on the tip of my tongue. Jordan Worth makes contact with the car on the outside. Looks like the 17 car of Billy Price. Takes him down to the inside. He makes contact with the safer barrier on the inside wall, and looks like there's some pretty significant damage there, but he continues on. Yeah, Jordan Worth has selected to stay out with the little bit of damage that he's accumulated there in that wreck, but taken back to the 22nd position. That's definitely going to be a difficult one to work up from.
It really is, Kane. It's going to be tough, and but we've seen him do very well here as of late. He's had a lot of good races here lately, so that will be fun to see.
Seen someone down on the inside in a familiar car, but I'm having trouble remembering who that car belonged to. Looked like one of the Wahoo cars.
All right, I think we'll be good to go now. I got my push button fixed, so shouldn't have any more audio problems here from me, buddy. And Jordan Worth has fallen all the way to the 22nd position. Will he be able to rebound? We'll keep an eye on that. In the meantime, Jared Crawford has a beautiful lead out in the Monster Chevrolet. He's followed by Chad Lawton in the number 3 Viper Chevy. And then in third, it's Malik Ray in the Skittles machine. And followed is going to be the peak antifreeze Ford Fusion of Tyler Hudson and then Brad Davies. So how about Brad Davies? This guy has started 16th and worked his way up to 5th already, Kane.
Yeah, 11 place gain for Brad Davies. And we've seen this from him several times, making his way all the way up through the field, being one of the top gainers. And just then having bad luck, disaster strikes and takes him back down. But hopefully today is the day where he can manage a good finish out of there. Greg McKinley also another one who's had a great drive. He's gained 15 positions and finds himself up in the 10th position.
Man, Benjamin Burmeister now tries to go down on the inside of Steven Azzini, and a beautiful defensive driving move by Steven Azzini. And he's able to hold on to that 12th position. And Steven, I tell you what, that Scrabble Chevy did it just about perfect right there. He about lost that position, but these two, I kind of been keeping an eye on them lately. They've had a great two-car battle for position as both of them here trying to fight for the 12th spot.
Benjamin Burmeister, another driver tonight who's had some serious gains. He's gained 14 positions to get up into that 13th spot.
Wow, and he wants to get another one right here, Kane, and here he goes down on the inside again. Will he be? I think he's got Steven this time. He does. He'll move into the 12th position. And with those two battling, here comes Nathan Saxon in the number 22 AMD Chevy. And this could be a fun little three-way battle. Steven hits the wall there, Kane. And I think he didn't hit it really hard, but he hit it good enough. It slowed him down, and he's got Nathan blocked for the moment, and it worked. He was able to hold him off. Now we have a battle behind them with Anthony Kernich and Timu Livin, and Anthony Kernich in the 16 machine pulls back ahead. Beautiful job by Anthony Kernich. He's about to catch all the way up to Steve Azzini up there already.
Yeah, Anthony Kernich has definitely got these oval tracks figured out. He's got some speed today. He's definitely one of the faster cars out there. I think as the race goes on, we'll definitely see him get this track figured out a little bit more and see him moving his way up toward the front of this field.
Well, I was a little disappointed with Anthony's start. He qualified 5th and fell down really fast, but here he is. He's got his grip back, and he's doing fine. It looks like his car's set up for the long run, and the way that they're running so far today, that could be very beneficial. Another car on the move came. Unfortunately, the 9 car of Jordy Lopez Jr. has moved a little bit backwards. Not a long way, but just a little ways backwards. And so is Brad Davies.
Jared Crawford, who was leading this race by almost 2 seconds. He finds himself back in 4th position.
So we got to check and make sure that some of these guys are not sneaking in. I know these haven't. They'd be a lap down, but sneaking into the pits in a little bit. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But, yeah, Brad Davies, and there it is. You see it, Malik Ray back in the lead. Good job, buddy. Oh, Tyler Hudson going around Jordan Worth again. And let's see what's going on up here. And it is Jared Crawford is going into the pits, Kane. So the monster Chevy heading into the pits. And let's see, I'm going to kind of keep an eye and see what's going on with Jared.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe if he got into the wall or what, but something had definitely slowed Jared Crawford down and allowed everybody to just start going right on around him. Before we knew it, he was back in 4th place, then 5th place, and now he's in the pits. So.
Uh-oh, Kane. I hope that he's not leaving this race.
Did he disappear?
Yes, for the moment he is gone.
Let's check in toward the back of the pack and check in on Chris Hall. He is the first driver a lap down, which should we end up in a caution, that will put him as the GetDirtyMX.com lucky dog.
And that's great to keep an eye on, and that's the lap back here is going to be marvelous because you can go down a lap in a hurry if you're not careful here. I'm really proud of these guys here on lap 42, and only, still have 24 cars on the lead lap. Now, no help from the caution, and that's really big. Jared Crawford, remember, unfortunate, he was led many laps of this race. He is officially out of the race for now in the garage area, and a doubtful return. So
JD, as I go on board with Billy Price here in the 19th position in the number 17 car, I am seeing some significant damage to the front of this car. And, Billy Price was running up there toward the front of the field. So something has happened to Billy Price that has taken him back to the 19th position and put some serious damage on his car.
Yeah, the hood of Billy Price's machine is very, very damaged. It's bent up pretty crucial. We'll kind of keep an eye on him here to see how that damage affects them in this race. But back in the 19th position, and a lot can still happen. Now, good news for Tyler Hudson, Kane. He's up into the 2nd position now and looking really good. He's got his eyes ahead on to the number 12 machine of Malik Ray in the Skittles Chevrolet. And these two could give us a fun battle here shortly. Also, Chad Lawton in the picture as well, up in the top 3. Brad Davies is a little ways back in 4th, but not all is bad there. And then look here, Jordy Lopez Jr. in the 5th position. We welcome him to the top 5. And then back in the 6th position, it's Adam Gilliland in the gmercer.com. Tyler Hill's your 7th place car. Tyler Lawland in the 8th position. Greg McKinney 9th, then Benjamin Burmeister rounds out the top 10.
Yeah, Benjamin getting his way around the number 24 of Greg McKinley, putting Benjamin in the 9th place.
Oh, we got a car fixing to go a lap down, Kane. That will be the number 23 of Kyle McCormick. He is now the potential Get Dirty MX lucky dog. Brad Newman is the next car, hoping for a caution to come out soon so that he can stay on this lead lap.
A second ago we were speaking of Jordy Lopez Jr. We did not go through a points run tonight, but it is worth the season standings. But it is worth noting that coming into today's race, Jordy Lopez Jr. was still in the number 1 spot for the championship's season standings. In the 2nd spot, there was Malik Ray, who finds himself in the lead of this race.
Yeah, Malik Ray working really hard, and I'll tell you what, Malik Ray has really turned on the afterburner here in the past 2 laps. He's starting to put a little bit of space in between him and Tyler Hudson back there in the 2nd spot. And here we see Malik Ray fixing to put another car a lap down, Kane. So we'll keep our eyes on Mr. Brad Newman. He would be the potential Get Dirty MX, and next would be Billy Price. Billy Price. But there, a little slow up moment for Malik. He went in a little hot there and slowed up a little bit. I don't think it's going to cause him any problems. So our first 50 laps out of the way.
Yeah, Malik Ray finding himself just under 1 second ahead of 2nd place Tyler Hudson. That kind of shrinks and grows from half a second to a full second as they get through these completely different turns on this track.
Something has happened to Billy Price. He is out of the race now, Kane. I saw him go down. He got passed, and Brad Newman went around him, but something happened, and he is disconnected now, so he is out of the race. Tough break for Billy. And Brad Newman able to stay out in front of the leader, Malik Ray. How long can he hold off Malik? He's held him for about 2 laps here, Kane.
Yeah, and it is now starting to slow up Malik as Tyler Hudson is starting to gain some ground on him.
And Brad still stays out in front, and now he will subside the position. And he cuts in between him and Tyler Hudson, so that may help Malik Ray get some of that time back there Brad Newman there just racing hard. And you got to give the guy credit. He wants to stay on that lead lap. He is the potential Get Dirty MX lucky dog if we were to get the caution. Now, here we are, lap 53, no caution. We got to be looking in the next 20 laps or so, Kane. We'll be looking for green flag stops before too long, and that will really shake up the field a little bit.
Brad Davies just ahead of the leader there, in the 23rd position. He has had a pit stop already, so that may be why he finds himself a lap down.
Yeah, Brad Davies went ahead and got that out of the way there, and good to see him get that out of the way. And I'm sure that he would. He's enjoying it too. He's out there.
Gilliland is in the pits now. Finished up and heading out.
Brad Davies heading back down pit road, Kane.
Yeah, tough luck for Brad as he looks like he's exited as well.
Well, I tell you what, Justin Bolton's found his way up into the top 10. Kane, the number 4 bestwestern.com Chevy, now up into the top 10 and looking ahead. He's now in 9th position. He's looking ahead to Patrick Crabtree up there in the Raptor Ford Fusion.
Yeah, Patrick's been having a great race today. He's just been, you know, sure and steady and maintaining around that mid-pack level, around the 8th, 9th, 10th place is where I've been seeing him all day long. He's just been running pretty stable. He's having a good, clean race.
Tyler Hudson makes his way around Steven Azzini there, and Steven Azzini would now be the Get Dirty MX lucky dog as Malik Ray has passed him, and now Tyler Hudson. And Tyler, 0.5 there, half a second's difference in between him and Malik Ray, but Tyler's starting to try to close in a little bit on our leader.
Yeah, it seems like he closes in a little bit, and then he falls off, and then he closes in. But I think a lot of those time differences is we got the big turn, and then we got the little small top of the egg turn on this egg-shaped track. And
he's really there now, Kane. He just got a great run. He is really up there. He's only 3 car lengths now.
Yeah, he really did catch up to him. You know, I read today the reason why this track is shaped like that is because back when they built this track back in 1950, the landowner didn't want to affect a fishing pond that they had out on the property, and so they had to alter the shape of the track so that it didn't interfere with the pond.
The famous minnow pond. And
That's
there,
right.
How about that? Here comes our Malik Ray down pit road. And there you see our leader going for a green flag stop. So watch the green flag start here at lap 60 with our big runners. But that's a very interesting point, Kane. I'm glad you brought that up because that is 100% true, and that is a really neat fact. Because normally they wouldn't have designed this track that way. Just had it been on a normal on a sheet of paper, but they didn't want to change his
Tyler
lens.
Hudson coming to pit road, gets slippery, spins it out, and that's going to cost him some serious time.
Boy, I swear I was going to say this early in the race. This is a tough pit road. It doesn't seem like it because you can get down flat, but when you're coming in on a green flag run, you're going fast around this thing. It's tough to get down to speed right there and to make that sharp left-hand turn. It's a lot harder than it looks. And a tough break for Tyler there. We'll see how it affects him when he gets back out and once all of our stops have cycled through. Well, Tyler Hill is the leader right now, Kane, and he's coming down pit road. So is Benjamin Burmeister, Patrick Crabtree making his way down, Greg McKinney, and Justin Bolton How about him beating Greg McKinney onto the pits? Good move there by Justin Bolton.
Jordy Lopez Jr. and Adam Gillen find themselves in a heck of a battle out on the track while these guys are pitting.
Anthony Kernich, the official leader of the race now. How about that? Give Anthony Kernich a bonus point. Leading the lap out there. Boy, Tyler Hudson is back out on track, though. Benjamin Burmeister and Greg McKinney on their way. Jordy Lopez Jr. out on the track as well. And we're going to have to keep an eye on how these guys come back out. Tyler Hill heading down pit road. Or excuse me, exiting pit road, getting back out there in traffic.
Yeah, we got just a couple more people. Anthony Kernich come down on pit road. We got Kyle McCormick also on pit road. The field is about clean now.
Tell you what, good job on green flag stops there. Really only one slip up, Tyler spin out, but other than that, a really good green flag stop around here. And we've been green. If you've just joined us, folks, we've been green since the start of this race here. And that always makes for exciting racing when we've gone green the entire way. The only pace laps we've had is the one to start the thing. So here on lap 65, it's been green the whole way, and what a battle we have up here. Tell you what, Jordy Lopez Jr. found his way into the second spot. He's quite a ways behind Malik Ray at the moment, but good job there by Jordy through pits. Oh, here comes Chad Lawton. He's on his way around a lap car there and doesn't waste any time. Beautiful job by the number 3 Viper SR Chevrolet. Tell you what, Kane, I'll go ahead and do a rundown real quick. And this is how the field runs at the moment. Malik Gray is your leader. He was the pole sitter today. And the Skittle Chevrolet leads the race. Jordy Lopez Jr. back in the number 9 machine today. He runs in second. Chad Lawton running in third with Adam Gilliland in fourth. In fifth right now is Tyler Hudson, with sixth going to Tyler Hill. Benjamin Burmeister in the 7th position, Timu Livinen in 8th. Nathan Saxon in the 10th position as Justin Bolton just went around him to take 9th. Patrick Crabtree is 11th with Greg McKinney 12th. Anthony Kernich is back in the 13th position with Charlie Foster in 14th. Charlie is the last car on the lead lap. The first car a lap down is the number 27 of Matthew Wright, who just is a lap down. He's hanging with the leader right now. Brandon Coppinger's in the 16th position with Robin Williams in 17th. Tyler Lawlin is in the 18th position with Brad Newman in 19th. Stephen Azzini in 20th with Case Briggsma in 21st. 22nd goes to Kyle McCormick with Jordan Worth in 23rd. Ryan Lowe, 24th position with Chris Hall in 25th. Brad Davies is in 26th and has left the building for the day. Billy Price in 27th has left as well. A tough day for Jared Crawford, who scored in the 28th position. Josh Fox, 29th. Josh Skrupa in 30th. That's how they run, Kane, in a fantastic race to this point. What is amazing me right now is this number 27 car in the Clorox Chevrolet. This is a car of Matthew Wright. It is strong. I know he's a lot down, Kane, but he's in the Get 30 MX lucky dog spot. And if he can hang, because he's hanging right there with our race leader. When you're racing the same pace as the leader, you got a heck of a car. And if he can get back on this lead lap, who knows what he could do.
Yeah, true. He is staying right with the leader, and that can be both good and bad. If he ends up running in there and running in too deep and having an accident and taking out the leader, that could probably be a pretty bad thing. But
oh yeah, we don't want to think about that. I'm just
he
talking about
definitely has got some good pace. He's definitely got good pace, and showing that he's got the pace to run up here with these guys. He's backed it off a little bit. Maybe he had the same thought I did, and kind of gave a little bit extra space. Or maybe not, because he has now run right up on his bumper. Right 28 car gets into him, a little bit of a love tap there, and luckily they got through that clean.
Yeah, the car that they were just getting around is the number 28 machine of Charlie Foster. Now, we mentioned Charlie was the last car, he was going to be the lucky dog car, but with Matthew Wright getting around him, that would put Matthew Wright right back in the lucky dog position. And I tell you what, man, Matthew Wright, he's trying to pass the leader to get back on the lead lap his own way.
Malik Ray is showing some serious speed here today. He has definitely got the best car on the field today, and it's showing.
Yeah, it really is. He was a pole sitter. He obviously dominated in qualification today. He had a really good qualifying time, 27.091. Chad Lawton was second fastest with 27.11. So very nice. A job by Malik Ray.
Malik Ray is almost 8 seconds ahead of second place Chad Lawton.
Yeah, and they're running really hard here on lap 75. Now, we'll be looking for green flag stops again, Kane, around lap 110 to 120. That's when these guys should be looking to come back down pit road. Maybe
Lopez Jr., Tyler Hudson are on fire. Those guys are blasting through the field.
Yeah, they really are. Chad Lawton trying to hang on for dear life as these two come plowing through, and a beautiful job by both drivers. And I'm watching them closely because it looks like they're working together almost, heading through this field. Both Fords looking really nice. Kane, I'm very impressed with these guys at Darlington this year. They're looking very well.
Yeah, me too. These guys have put on a great race for us tonight, and that's a lot needs to be said about these guys' skill to be able to come out here and run this many laps, caution-free, right off the start. That's just awesome.
I'm not going to lie. I'd be hell. Here comes Tyler Hudson on the inside of Jordy, and he will make the pass. So there you have it. Tyler Hudson has moved into the second position. Now, Kane, Malik Ray has a win on the year, doesn't he?
I'm not sure if Malik has won a race or not.
Now, we know Tyler Hudson has a race win, and I don't know about Jordy Lopez. I don't think Jordy's won one. I know he's had a lot of great results. I'm just trying to think of if we could have a new winner today or have our first repeat winner of the year. I need to get a sheet in front of me that has all our race winners on it.
And of course we would only be talking about on the broadcast itself. These guys do have 4 races each and every week, right. And I don't keep the best track of who wins those other 3 races. So
that's right. All I count is our race.
Right.
It takes the fun out of it. Tell you what, Anthony Kernich, man, this guy having a phenomenal day. The number 16 machine is still on the lead lap. He's back in the 13th spot, but still on the lead lap, trying to hang away from old Malik Ray, who's about a quarter of a turn behind him, and it's going to be tough for Anthony to hang on for dear life if this thing stays green much longer. But you got to give him some big credit. Matthew Wright still the potential lucky dog at the moment. Matthew not showing quite the speed he had just a little bit ago. He's fallen back quite a ways from leader Malik Ray, as Malik is still on that tear. I think you can really see the tire fall off there. I think that's why we've seen Matthew Wright not be able to kind of hang with him quite as long. He was running really hard with those fresh tires, and I think they've run off, and I think Malik's setup has allowed him to run harder and still not burn as much rubber off of those tires.
Yeah, Malik has definitely got this track figured out, which is saying something, because this track is tough to figure out.
It really is, Kane. It's a tough track, and He really is in dominating form right now. That Skittles car, he put on a fresh coat of paint because he knew the camera was going to be on him all day long. And he's shown up for this race, and it's great to see. And Tyler Hudson, now let's go and jump the gun. We still got quite a ways to go here. 183 laps. We're only on 83, so we got 100 to go. And we still got Tyler Hudson, Jordy Lopez Jr. in third, Chad Lawton in fourth, Adam Gilliland in fourth. All 5 of those guys are very dangerous. How about Tyler Hill in the number 20 machine in sixth, Benjamin Burmeister in seventh, Justin Bolton back in the eighth, excuse me, Justin in the 8th position, Patrick Crabtree in the 9th, and we're 3 wide in Darlington back there in Patrick Crabtree for a moment. And then in 10th, it's Greg McKinney, and that's our top 10. And any of these guys, really anybody on the lead lap right now, and I'll still include Matthew Wright, Charlie Foster, Brandon Coppinger, Robin Williams, Case Brinksma, Brad Newman, Kyle McCormick, Tyler Lawlin, and Steven Azzini. Any guy in the top 22 right now can get this thing done, Kane. There is still plenty of racing left to do here at Darlington, and I'm just amazed on an 87-lap green run.
Yeah, Darlington to go 87 laps. Now, that's not to say that there hasn't been any incidents, because we've seen 3 or 4 cars taken out by getting too much of the Darlington stripe. So I even seen one car get sideways and spin. So we might be having an error with the yellow flag, but I'm not real sure.
And I'm proud of, man. Here you see right now Steven Azzini right in front of the leader, Malik Gray. Malik gets by no problem there. And I tell you what, the old Scrabble Chevrolet down there of Azzini, Steven's had a great year, I think, so far. And I think Steven's done well. I know Steven's hating to go down 2 laps right there, but he's still in range to get something done today. He's only in the 22nd position, and he's only 2 laps down. Now, it sounds like a lot, and it is a lot when these guys have had a green flag run like today. But we start having a couple cautions, and you never know. You can start getting some laps back in a hurry. The same can be said about Jordan Worth. And one thing I love about Jordan Worth, Kane, in that WingQuest Chevy, he never gives up. This guy's 3 laps down and running just as hard as he was earlier. And I love to see that. The same can be said about Ryan Lowe and Chris Hall. 6 and 9 laps down. These guys aren't giving up at all. Chris Hall in the Fast Track Sims is making a pass around Jordan Worth right now. How about that? It's not for position, but it's still, he's fighting.
Well, this is Darlington, and there is almost 100 laps left to go. And these guys know that there's going to be several people that's not going to finish this race, and so by staying in it and keeping their car out of trouble, they will continue to gain positions.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, buddy. It is such a great, I'm telling you, man, these guys are really showing up race today. I'm enjoying this tremendously.
They have done a fantastic job. They came today and have kept it clean so far for over 90 laps, and just everybody's really been showing each other quite a bit of respect on the track, and it's been a pleasure to watch.
It truly has, buddy. And look, I mean, don't go anywhere, because let's get ready for some green flag stops in 10 to 20 laps, buddy. I mean, we're fixing to be having to go through that again for 2 times in a row, from one extreme to the next. We were caution full last week, and we've been caution free this week. I love it.
Jordy Lopez Jr. and Chad Lawton just getting a little bit closer of a battle there, as Chad Lawton gets a little bit of the Darlington stripe. That will bring in Jordy Lopez Jr. right onto his bumper.
That's right. The number 9 Ford Fusion now can use some of that draft off the number 3 of Chad Lawton. And that's exactly what he's going to do for the moment. Here you see him tuck down to the inside. Can he get the run going into the turn? He'll tuck back in and try again. And that's all Jordy needs to do right now. Jordy doesn't need to get too risky, Kane. He's in the 4th position. Yes, he wants to get up there. Oh, it's a little loose there as he caught a little bit of wear. Now, that's something we forgot to mention, Kane. This is a very weird track. If you follow the white line, this turn, half the turn here isn't banked. Half of the turn here is flat. The other half is banked. And if you catch going in on turn entry at that point, oh, there's trouble for Jordan Worth as he's smoking down the apron. I wonder what's going on with him. I hate that for Jordan. He's already 3 laps down. And I don't hear any news of a caution, so everything seems to be okay. And oh boy, he just caught the wall, Kane. He hit the Darlington letters on the wall hard. And the 13 Wing Quest machine is going to have to go in for repairs. I'm guaranteed there he's got a meatball flag. Boy, that thing's smoking like a blown engine. I know he didn't know, he just hit the wall hard, but
yeah, that probably took out the radiator, and yeah, I'm sure it's probably overheated the engine. His race could likely be over.
Yeah, I hope not. Now, if he has any chance, folks, of continuing, Jordan will. And he's still driving into the pits right now, so I'm going to be curious to see what he does here. If there's any chance of the crew getting that car back out, he'll go race it. He's having some trouble getting that thing into the pit box.
Tough break for Jordan Worth, as he was having a pretty good race, and looks like his race is over.
Yeah, it does, and he'll take that thing to the garage area, drop back, and punt, and look for a better result next week. Jordan's had a great year so far, and he'll look to continue that way as we head to Richmond next week. And I tell you what, Kane, Richmond is going to be exciting. Oh my gosh, it's racing perfection, buddy. I love Richmond.
I do too. Richmond is a very fun track to race at and to watch.
Boy, you better believe it. It's short track racing at perfection, I'm telling you. All right, the 29 machine, or excuse me, is that 23 machine letting Malik Ray by right there, and that is the 23 of Kyle McCormick. Now, Kyle has had a decent race. He's only 1 lap down, or 2 now, as the leader just passed him again. He's only in the 19th position. And I want to go back to that lucky dog position, Kane. What's up with Jordy Lopez Jr. 1 lap down and off the track? Jordy is nowhere to be found. Jordy Lopez Jr.'s race could be over, Kane. He smoked all the way into pit road. Hold on. Jordy Lopez Jr. I just did the rewind on lap 96. Jordy was coming down out of the corner and hit that section I just got through talking about, Kane, where the embankment starts. Or actually, here it was at the end of the turn on exit. He got down to where the apron got flat, and it fishtailed the back of his car, and he hit almost nose first into the wall at 170 miles an hour. And or not that fast, he was going about 130 though, 140, and hit the wall, and that thing was smoking just like Jordan Worth's car. That's not good for Jordy, and I think his day is over. What a tough break for Jordy Lopez Jr., Kane.
Yeah, that thing just whipped right around on him. That was all of a sudden.
That's how quickly you can go from having a great day to a trash day. And the poor Anthony Kernich hanging on for life here to stay on the lead lap. Kane, can he pray for a caution? I'm surprised we didn't get a caution with Jordy's wreck. I thought that one would bring it out. And it looks like Anthony's going to have to go a lap down for the first time today.
Yeah, Malik is definitely putting the field down. Well over half the field is down. Half the remaining field now is down at least a lap from Malik and his unbelievable Skittles car.
And 102 laps of green run doesn't help. No caution to help re-rack. No lucky dog given out today. So that really hurts the field. Now it's Nathan Saxon who's going to be looking to hang on for dear life, and Anthony Kernich is praying that that caution comes out really soon to get that lucky dog position, because if Malik gets around Nathan, the lucky dog would go to Nathan Saxon instead of him.
Yeah, very true. But if this keeps going the way that it's going,
we may not see a lucky dog.
Yeah.
And there it is. Nathan Saxon just got passed by Malik. So now our potential. Well, wait a minute. Anthony Kernich says, all right, I'll just pass Nathan Saxon here. He's going to try to come up and pass the 22 machine, Kane.
Yeah, that's one way to get that lucky dog position back.
That's right. Just go get it yourself. And he's dang sure trying right now. Because the next car to be put a lap down is Greg McKinney, and he's a little ways away, so there's a little time of hope for Anthony Kernich and for Nathan Saxon. Nathan wanting to hang on for dear life as he is the potential Get Dirty MX lucky dog, and the AMD Chevy has looked really, really good today.
Yes, you know, it's an unusual race whenever we're talking about how good of a race these guys are having whenever they just win the lap down, but it's true, you know. Nathan Saxon is in 11th place, having a great run.
All right, we haven't said his name in a little while, but it's about time to start bringing it up. The peak Ford Fusion of Tyler Hudson, 4.5 seconds back from leader Malik Ray. And I tell you what, Tyler Hudson really rebounded nicely off of that spin out going into pit road on the last green flag stop. He's really rebounded nicely, Kane. That peak car is moving well today.
That probably is the 4.5 seconds that we're seeing there.
That's exactly what it is. And you know, when we came back out, Tyler Hudson was in 5th, and he has worked his way back to 2nd in only 4.2 seconds now. He's gaining on our leader. Just in that last lap, he gained 0.3 on the leader, Malik Ray. So can he keep it up is going to be the question. Nathan Saxon still the potential lucky dog, and I just got a feeling that the yellow will come out soon. I know it can't stay put up all day. Tyler Hudson now to almost 4 flat, so I knocked almost another 0.2 off that lap game. So he's chipping away at this thing. You never know what could happen here.
Yeah, definitely. Tyler's definitely got some speed here. He is taking that time down. It's coming off slowly but surely, but there's still just under 75 laps here to go. So there's still plenty of time.
Wow, even though there's plenty of time, the race has flown by with no cautions. It's been green. They have been, since we've dropped, guys, 110 clean, beautiful laps out there. And not for everybody, though. We've had several instances with single car incidents and that have put them out for the day, but it wasn't enough to bring out the caution. And that's been the key. You know, Jordy Lopez Jr. took a hard lick into the wall, and somehow no debris left on the track. No need to bring out the caution. Same thing happened with Jordan Worth a little earlier in the day, and no caution. So we'll see what happens here. Race steward very, very, very kind today to keep this thing green.
Yeah, and I think it's because the cars, they've hit hard, but they've stayed pretty straight. They haven't really got too sideways. They've got to get over that, 40-degree angle or whatever it is that the cars have to be to bring out the caution. None of them's really got that angle on them. And as we see Bolton there getting a little goofy and gets up into the safer barrier and manages to keep it under control and keep the car straight. Gets back after it. Justin Bolton goes slow. I thought he was going to go to pit road, but he just went low, letting the other cars around. Patrick Crabtree's now got that 6th position.
Boy, I tell you what, Malik Gray's still on a tear, man. He's still out there in front, but he does have a lap car, Ryan Lowe, in front of him. Ryan's 6 laps down, in danger of going 7. He will fall. Jordy Lopez Jr. says to say hello to everybody. And a tough day for him. He had a great car though, Kane. He really did.
He was looking fantastic. And Jordy and any other drivers watching the broadcast, you guys can come in and to the voice server here and let us know. Let us know exactly what happened. The TeamSpeak address can be found in the post there on the NIS forums, on the iRacing forums.
That's it, man. Just go by the iRacing forums and
might have to go to last week's post, because this week's post I just made a real quick post. I didn't include all that stuff, but last week's post definitely has those numbers.
What is our TeamSpeak there, buddy? I'm trying to remember. Jordy, I'm going to see if I can get him to come up and have a word with us in the booth. I got it. Still a great race out there today, buddy.
Lots of cars today that was having such a fantastic race that Darlington just too tough to tame.
That's it, man. This track is so dadgum difficult, man. It really is. It is so difficult.
I see all these lights on the track, but it's just a shame that all these bulbs must be burnt out or something, because you should be racing this track at nighttime.
Yeah, and that's it. That's the Sprint Cup, the Bojangles Southern 500 raced under the lights. I kind of like the fact that we run here during the day, Kane, and I'm going to tell you why. It reminds me of the old NASCAR when they used to run the 500 during the day. The Southern 500 used to be during the day, and I liked that a lot. I really did. I liked it a lot, just like when they used to run at the Rock. It just brings back the memories of the old days.
There is definitely a lure to the old NASCAR days. It seems like it's a little more rough and tumble, but definitely some good racing from the days of old. And some good racing here as Tyler Hudson now coming up on some slow trap. He's now finds himself behind the 27 Clorox car and the number 6 of Stevie Dini, and makes his way right on past those guys and still making that forward progress toward the leader. Malik Ray heading to the pit road. So we will start our second run of green flag pit stops, which I guess they've already been started. Chad Lawton's in, Adam Gillen, and now race leader Malik Ray. That's going to put Tyler Hudson up into that #1 spot, and he too is coming in. Let's make sure he makes it in safely this time, and he does. Anthony Kernich coming in right behind him.
Yeah, buddy, it's Hopefully we'll hear from Jordy soon to find out what happened to him today, what his words are. But yeah, the second round of green flag stops, Kane. You don't see that very often. That's pretty daggum impressive.
Yeah, for Darlington especially, to have 2 rounds of green flag stops, that's definitely impressive. These guys came out here today and really are showing their skill.
They really are. Here on a lap 124 of 183 laps, Kane. They can close to make it to the end from here, buddy.
It will be awful close.
It's going to be cutting it dry. I mean, I tell you what would help them if they finally get that caution. And I got to bring up our Get Dirty MX potential lucky dog is Timu Living and in the 11th position. And man, when you got a lucky dog, a potential lucky dog driver who's in 11th, you've had one heck of a race day, buddy. Malik, right? And Justin Bolton is in the pits right now, leaving the pits. He's in second. Tyler Hudson is listed in third. Back there, he's back to 5.5 seconds behind Malik Ray, so lost a little bit of time through the stops.
Yeah, it's lost about half a second there during those green flag stops, but still plenty of time left for Tyler to catch up, or to at least try to take some of that time away, try to gain some of that position back. But Malik is just having one heck of a race today. Flawless.
Yeah. He's really got it going on, and I'm glad to bring in the driver from off the track there a little earlier. Jordy, got Jordy Lopez Jr. with us, the point leader. Jordy, what's going on, buddy? You got a copy with us?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up, guys?
Oh, good to have you here, man. The car looked phenomenal today, buddy. Tell us what happened down there, bud.
I really don't know. It just, it just snapped on me. Like the car I thought was handling fine there, and I just snapped it lightly, and the car just reacted differently and went straight to the wall.
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, we watched the replay several times, and the only thing that I could even think of was there's that spot, and I just watched Tyler Hudson go across the same spot you did, where when you're on the exit there, where the apron kind of meets the banking, it has the car can get loose there. But I've seen literally every car on this track go over that same spot the same way that you did, and it didn't send the car loose like it did to yours. So that was really weird. I don't know if we might have caught a little glitch or something there.
I hit it 50 times before I hit the wall. Like literally, I hit it 50 times, and that one time that I hit it was slightly, and it just reacted really crazy, and I ruined my race.
And boy, it really did. It really upset it. I tell you, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I mean, we were just like, wait a minute, what just happened, But I tell you what, man, the car was fantastic this week. You really had a lot of speed. I thought you might be a favorite to win this thing today with the way you were running.
Yeah, car was really tight on the entry, so it was really scary to go through the turns because I'm really afraid of that wall. And yeah, man, it stinks to have your race ruined so early.
It is, and I tell you, this is such a tough track. I'm proud of all you guys, man. Here we are, lap 132. We've been green the entire way at Darlington. That's really great. That says a lot about the talent in the NASCAR iRacing Series Top Split, man. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Well, Jordy, you find yourself in that #1 position, not only in the Championship Series, but in the Road to Pros Series. So you're that #1 driver to go into Pro. As of now, there's still a lot of season left to go, but so far, having a great start to the season is definitely looking good for you. Today didn't go so well for you, but you do got 3 more races this week, and I'm sure that out of those 3, you'll have a pretty good finish, and you have over 100-point lead over second place Malik Ray, so you're having a
That's
great
huge.
start to this season.
Yeah, thanks, man.
That's great, buddy.
Oh man, I just hope that on Friday I'd be able to drive it better and not hit that apron.
Yeah. I don't know what happened there, buddy. I don't know. It's got to be scary going over it now after what happened. But, man, like you said, you did it all race long and it didn't bother you. And then all of a sudden it just really upset the car and sent it straight up into the wall. That was really, really awkward. But, you know, it's one of those things. You've had such a phenomenal race season so far, Jordy, each week. And that's been the thing that's impressed me, buddy, is no matter what track we've been to short tracks, we've been to super speedways, we've been to mile and a half, we've been to intermediates, and you've done well at all of them. And that's a great sign of things to come. So it kind of puts a little target on your back from the other drivers. They want to get up there and get ahead of you, buddy. So best of luck to you the rest of the way, man.
All right, thanks, buddy.
And thanks for coming by and having a chat with us live on the race. And we look forward to hearing from you next week from Richmond.
All right, guys, see ya. Thank you for the interview.
Anytime, Jordy. You have a good one, buddy.
See ya.
And that's our point leader, Jordy Lopez Jr., everybody. Phenomenal job, not today, unfortunately, with the incident there. But, man, he had such a fast car today, Kane. He really did.
He was doing a great job, and that was a weird incident, man. The car just turned over into the wall. It was weird. But,
I'll tell you what else is weird, Kane. 138 laps here at Darlington are complete, and we have been green the entire way. We don't have this thing starting to edge its way down. And speaking of edging its way down, Tyler Hudson has rubbed a second off of the distance between him and Malik Ray again. He's down to about 4.5 seconds instead of the 5.5 he had.
JD, we've only got 5 cars on the lead lap, and Patrick Crabtree is not far from going down a lap himself.
Yeah, at this point in the race, Kane, it's almost like we have 2 different races going on here. We have the race up with the top 5 drivers for who can get up there and try to win this thing. And then if you're in that 6th to down to, let's say, 14th, they're all 1 lap down. They have their own race to see who can get up there and get into the top 10 and get that 6th through 10th position. So it's kind of interesting. We have 2 different races going on here on one track. It's really crazy. And with not a lot of time left, we have to wonder, will that caution come out and re-rack them? It's going to be so fun to see. And right now, tight moment there for Malik Ray as he's right by the number 25 machine of Brandon Coppinger of Wahoo Motorsports. And I thought we might have a little come together, but all is well for both cars. I'm just very impressed with the cars out there today. There's a lot of spectators watching this race today, Kane. I'm watching the comment section down on the iRacing bar, and it's just been packed with big names of a lot of big drivers that didn't quite make it into this race but are watching. And I thought about that coming into the race today, Kane. I said, you know what? I wonder how many guys are going to just sit this week out with the, just trying to get away from Darlington. A lot of people hate this place and don't even want to come out here and wreck a good car, so they just watch. And I'm really impressed with the amount of drivers that came out and are showing well here. That's what's been mind-blowing, how well these guys are doing. Well, Tyler Hudson has almost shaved another second off, Kane. The Peak Ford Fusion is on fire right now. Malik Ray has been on fire. And now we got the Peak Antifreeze Ford Fusion, who's only 3.8 seconds back, and he has no traffic around him. Tyler Hudson can start running qualifying laps and find his way back up with Malik Ray soon. And then you want to talk about a good race to the finish? My goodness, folks, you don't want to go anywhere now. It's a beautiful day out there. The weather's awesome, and on the track, it's awesome. They got plenty of grip out there for it being Darlington, and it's just been an incredible day. And right now, a little loud traffic coming up for Malik as Steven Azzini goes down, and so does Malik, and then back up high. That should slow Malik up a little bit. We'll see if Tyler can gain another tenth or two off of that. And he actually gains 100th of a second. That's not going to do it. But I'm just so curious to see if we can go for the first time this season, Kane, an entire race under green. And in a million years, you could have told me to pick the track that we're going to go green at for an entire race. The last one that I probably would have said would be Darlington. That's a very good point, Kane. You're right. The only car we've seen that hasn't been straight has been Tyler Hudson's, and that was down in pit entrance when Tyler Hudson had the spin around. And other than that, though, we haven't had a cause for caution other than the minor two incidents, one with Jordy Lopez Jr. and the other with Jordan Worth. So because I have a feeling if we see two cars get into it, I got a feeling we'll see that caution come out. Well, down to 3.444. Tyler Hudson shaves off another 2/10. And he's really trying to get up there, but Kane, he's running out of time. 150 is where we're at. We got to get to 183, folks, and this thing will be over. Is there any possibility? Is there enough time? Will the caution ever come? And the big question of the day, will these guys be able to make it to the finish on what they have? I don't know, Kane. It's going to be close, and I think that they know that. And I think Malik Ray may be trying to do a little bit of fuel saving, and that may be why we've seen Tyler start to edge off tenths here lately. Is Tyler and Malik Ray maybe trying to do something like save that fuel? Right now, Tyler's stuck behind the 25 for the moment. It may hurt him. He got around the Wahoo machine finally, but it helped him. He's down to 3.1, Kane. 3.1 seconds behind Malik Ray, and this is starting to get good. Patrick Crabtree getting passed by the number 7 machine, and a beautiful job. I meant Patrick Crabtree is the number 7 machine. I apologize. He passed the 27 machine of Matthew Wright, and that Clorox Chevy of Matthew Wright has been fast all day. He's 2 laps down. And then ahead of him, of course, we talked about Patrick Crabtree having a wonderful day. One of the few cars, Kane, still on the lead lap. He rides in the 5th position. That top 5 is Malik Ray, Tyler Hudson, Tyler Hill 3rd, 4th Benjamin Burmeister, and 5th Patrick Crabtree. What a race.
It has been a very good race to run this many laps caution free, but the downside is that the field has got pretty split and some gaps between races, but there are some races going on. Chad Lawton is working really hard to
on
catch
Timu Livinen. And I was just fixing to say that, buddy. I was watching it too. That's such a great one. And then also Justin Bolton, and we haven't talked much about him today. Him and Nathan Saxon were going at it. Nathan kind of rode out, though. Nathan's got great pace right now. He's trying to get up there to Greg McKinney in the 9th position, but right now Nathan fighting for that top 10 spot. He's got a top 10, and that's what you got to think about. These guys like Adam Gilliland, they're a lap down, but he's riding in 8th place. Chad Lott is in 7th. I mean, they're not. Most of the time we think a lap down, we think 25th, 30th. No, these folks are, in the top 10. Okay, Tyler Hudson is down to 2.3 behind Malik Ray.
That is fantastic, and with there's being as many laps that's left, I think that we might see a race for the end of this thing.
Well, it's definitely putting the pressure on Malik Ray. Malik has been watching that Tyler D. Hudson name on his relative screen pretty close, I imagine, and I know that he sees him coming in. So, will we see? We're about to find out real soon if Malik has been fuel saving, because we'll start to see him realize, hey, I'm getting caught. Now it's almost 2 seconds flat. He just shaved off another 10th, Kane.
Yeah, looking back from the back of Malik Ray's car, you can definitely see Tyler Hudson back there. He's coming in hard. He's coming in fast, so I'm sure Malik is keeping an eye on his relative, and he knows that he's coming. But this track is the home of the closest finish in NASCAR Sprint Cup history. So maybe we'll get lucky and see one of those close finishes ourselves.
Man, and if how would that be to see a close finish after 183 green laps? What an amazing day. I mean, that's amazing. You go 183 clean laps. Well, we just went 160, so only 23 laps remain here at Darlington Raceway in Darlington, South Carolina. The Skittles Chevrolet has led the majority of the day, and fantastic, but look at this, Tyler Hudson only 1.9 seconds behind. Yes, folks, it sounds like a long way, but the way he's been chipping away here, it is definitely a possibility we could see these two have a battle to the finish line.
JD, somehow we have managed to not mention Tyler Hill running in this 3rd position. Tyler's had a fantastic race running in the 3rd position. He is 20 seconds back from Tyler Hudson.
And I wanted to mention this too. Tyler Hill got to lead 2 laps there, and we didn't even get to mention that. He has had a phenomenal day.
He has had a great day. Got the car down to the inside, back behind, down below the white line. I didn't get to see who it was.
And I've got to say, Tyler Hill, he got to give this guy all the credit in the world. He just has truly impressed today. And that is Tyler Hill there in the TimmyHill.com Chevrolet. And he's driving the number 20 car and just doing a beautiful job here at Darlington.
I love how he comes out, represents his brother, advertises for his brother, who works real hard to be a contender, to drive in the Sprint Cup. To be a driver is a pretty tough deal as it is, and Timmy does a good job going out there driving for one of the lower budget teams, and
does a killer job.
Yeah, he does a great job. I'm
20
always
laps to
impressed
go
with Timmy Hill.
And Tyler Hudson is 1.2 seconds back, Kane. We got a battle on our hands. Next car in front of Tyler Hudson, Malik Ray, ladies and gentlemen. The battle is almost here.
It is. Yeah, there is no cars between Tyler Hudson and Malik Ray, and And if Malik didn't know it before, Kane, he knows it now. I know that.
Malik knows it now. Tyler Hudson feeding on this, you know it. And that peak performance, I mean, that peak antifreeze Ford Fusion is looking mean right now.
Less than a second now gap between Tyler Hudson and Malik Gray. He is going to catch him. We are going to have a race for this finish. Now, we knew it was close on laps. Are we going to have another pit stop, or are these guys going to make it the whole way? That's another thing that's going to play into this as we get to these last, and we're into that last 20 laps. Man, within the next 10 laps or so, we're going to see if these guys are going to try to pit or try to make it.
That's it, Kane, because they're almost to that point where they're going to have to lay in their own beds. They've made them, and they're going to have to lay in them. They're going to run out of that option to whether they can pit or not. Now, I think if somehow the caution comes out, they'll pit no matter what, just for security. But I don't know if they think they can make it. I think we see them try to get there at this point. Now, whoa, a moment there as we see Tyler Hudson, Malik Ray try to go around Brad Newman. That slowed up Malik just a hair, and that has put Tyler ever closer. And Tyler Hudson is right there almost to that draft zone, and once he will be, Kane, coming on out of the exit of this turn, it looks like.
Yeah,
and
less than half a second now, so he is officially caught him now.
He is right there in that draft zone, guys, so these straightaways are becoming very important for the peak Ford Fusion. Tyler can really start to reel in Malik Ray from this point. Beautiful racing. The cameras won't be anywhere but on these two cars. You can bet on it. This is the rate, I'm telling you, from the green flag run for this being Darlington, the end of the race, lap 170 right now, folks. This is one of the best duels of the year when you consider the whole race running green. And the way Tyler Hudson spun out going into the pit entrance, and now under green flags has caught back up with Malik Ray. Kane, he is right there and going down on the inside. Can he try to, I thought he was going to make the move there. He decides better, and he's going to wait for the right opportunity, but he had a great run on Malik right there. Now Malik gets a nice little run, and here he comes. Tyler Hudson has room, but there's traffic. He squeezes through. A scary moment side by side going into turn 3. He'll have to ease off, Kane. He couldn't keep pushing or he would have slid up into him.
Yep, I was waiting to see, and he did back off, and yeah, good. That's a pretty smart move, because that would have probably ended both their races had he kept into it. So, but he knows he's got the pace. He knows he's got the speed. He's just going to wait it out till he gets another shot. And
well, here comes a good run now, Kane. He's got a great run on the back, or he had a great run on the back stretch going into turn 3. He will ease off again, but he's hanging tight through the turn this time, through turn 4. I think he's going to make the move going through the back stretch here, Kane. It's going to happen this time I got a feeling.
He seems to be being patient now. Maybe that scared him a little earlier, and so he's like, you know what, I better slow it down, be a little bit more patient, and get this done clean.
Well, I don't know if it might have scared him. I don't know if you got to think, these tires are really old, Kane, and gas is starting to become a factor. How many times can he push that hard without really running? He's got to still be able to make it to the end of this thing. He's right there on the bumper, buddy. He is right there with him. I'm telling you what, going into 1 and 2, Tyler's great. 3 and 4, it's all Malik Ray. And is going to try a little bump and run action there, I thought. We had a little bit of contact. What a battle for position, guys. Lap 174 of 183. We're 10 to go.
Looking back from Malik Ray's car from the back bumper back at Tyler Hudson. Noticing that Tyler's still got his yellow helmet and gloves. Just
down on the inside, Kane, and cannot make the move. Here comes Malik Ray, a great blocking move to keep the lead. This is an unbelievable performance by both drivers. Even if Tyler doesn't make the pass for the win, Kane, what a job for him just to catch back up. That is amazing. Here he comes down on the inside. Kane, can he get the run? I don't think he has it. He's going to tuck back in. He'll have to try again here on lap 176 through turns 1 and 2. Beautiful job by both drivers. Tyler Hudson really trying to use all the draft that he can and hanging right there with Malik Ray. He'll stick the nose of the Ford Fusion out to get a little bit of air this time by through 3 and 4. Things get really tight through 3 and 4. And here we go through the start-finish line side by side. Kane, it is one lap 177 down on the inside. Can Tyler make the move? He will hold up. He's going to continue down on the inside. He may have a door-to-door action going through turns 1 and 2. Back towards the straightaway. Malik Ray in the Skittle Chevrolet takes off.
Yeah, these guys are got no tire left, and Tyler's definitely fighting a very loose car there. He's trying his very best to get enough momentum to get it done, but he just don't have the grip, and you see him having to hit the brakes to keep the car from going up. So he's definitely trying, but he's fighting against not having enough grip on the tires.
And this is an amazing battle for position right now. They are touching right now going down the back stretch. Can Tyler Hudson get around this Skittle Chevrolet of Malik Ray, who's drove it phenomenal the entire race here at Darlington Raceway? Down on the inside, he cannot. He had the run there. He just didn't have the room. As a beautiful positioning, beautiful job by the Skittles machine to position the car just in the passing zone. Malik knew where he was going to pass. He's going to have to make a pass in an awkward position, Kane, to get around Malik Ray at this point in the race. Lap 179 of 183. This race will be ending soon. Boy, he's going to have to make that pass in the next lap or two, Kane. It's going to happen. He doesn't want to wait till the last lap because he only have one shot and things can get dirty. A big burst of speed from Malik Ray. Here we are, 180 of 183. 3.5 laps remain.
You know Tyler wants that #1 spot so bad, but he gets up there, the car gets a little squirrely, and he starts thinking, you know, second place is much better than finishing, or not finishing at all. So he pulls it back and puts it back into the second spot. But as these laps wind down, I got a feeling he's really going to try and get that #1 spot.
All right, folks, here we are, lap 181 of 183. Here they are coming down the backstretch. Tyler Hudson ducks down to the inside, trying to make one more push towards the inside. He will not have enough. Here comes Malik still up high. Now he's going to try it on the inside. Can Tyler close the deal? He's right there with him, still staying side by side. He'll have to tuck back in. 182. The white flag will be out this time by. Can he find that room to make the pass? He's been close 3 times, but cannot seal the deal. The Skittle Chevrolet may be too strong, or will Tyler Hudson find the speed right here at the end to seal the deal and get the second win of the year? Here it is, folks. We got 1 lap remaining. White flag waving as they come by. It's time. And there it is, white flag waves in the air. The Skittles car of Malik Ray has led this race, almost the entire race here as of late. Goes through 1 and 2 with the lead, cuts down low to try to block, as Tyler didn't even try to go down low. Now down the back stretch, there they are right behind one another. Tyler going to try to get every bit of room he can. He goes down on the inside. Can he make the push on the final lap? They have a little bit of contact, and it's going to be a side-by-side finish to the end. There's contact. The Skittles car's into the wall, and Malik Ray is wrecked. Tyler Hudson wins the race. What a way to finish a race, my goodness. Woo! Side by side all the way to the finish. Kane, we talked about a side-by-side finish, but wow.
Yeah, that's a side-by-side would have been good. I would have liked to seen it finish side-by-side. But those cars, they just didn't have no grip left, and as they went side by side into the corner, I had a feeling that something was going to happen. Now, luckily it happened close enough to the finish where Malik was able to get across the finish line and finish in that second position, but definitely I know Malik's probably tore up about that finish, but second place is still, that's pretty good points.
Let me put it this way, buddy. I'm going back and looking at the replay of the finish. Now, as I'm analyzing this, coming through 3 and 4. All right, I'm going to start on the entrance of turn 3. Tyler's got the momentum speed-wise going into the entrance. It's all Tyler. Problem is, Tyler's got to drop. He's got to wash some of that speed off on the bottom. If not, he'll go directly up into Malik Ray. So he has to drop his advantage. He keeps it somehow and stays on the bottom for a minute. But with those loose tires that we just talked about, he slides up. And that's where the contact is made. From that point, Tyler Hudson has to go. If he stops, it ends for both of them. And from that point forward, both cars are literally, it's just a crapshoot. And unfortunately for Malik Ray, the contact was just too much. And that's it, though. Beautiful win, though, by Tyler Hudson to come back from over 5 seconds down. That's incredible, Kane.
Yeah, that was some pretty hard contact that Malik had with the inside safer barrier. That boy, that really tore the car up, ripped the whole front end off the car as it gets going again. Able to see that damage. Yeah, that was some serious racing there. Last lap, side by side, coming into the last turn. That was definitely intense. 187 laps, however many it was.
83.
Completely caution free. No serious incidents until the very last corner of the last lap. It was just, what a fantastic race.
It's amazing to me. 183 green flag laps at Darlington.
Yeah,
Are you kidding
coming
me?
into this, I would not have ever guessed that we would have went caution free tonight of all nights.
I don't think any of us would. That was incredible. I'm watching the final couple laps on the onboard of Tyler. Just keep watching this over and over and over. Oh man, well, this is going to be a highlight reel we'll be seeing for the remainder of the season, folks. I promise you that. This won't be the last time you see this finish of this race. I don't know if it was as good of a finish as we saw with our Daytona shootout, where we saw Casey Tucker pull the photo finish at Daytona. Remember that, Kane, in the shootout we had? What was it, 2 thousandths of a second between first and second? What an amazing way to start the 2014 NASCAR iRacing Series. And the season has been phenomenal. And Tyler Hudson wins his second race of the season. And so that's a big day for Tyler. Let me do a final rundown here as we finish up the broadcast here tonight. Tyler Hudson goes to victory lane, and a beautiful day for Malik Ray. Led the most laps, finished in the second position after being spun out there. He's okay, though. In second, Tyler Hill. Beautiful day for Tyler. Very proud of the TimmyHill.com machine. He finishes in a third. Back in the fourth spot is Benjamin Burmeister, and I can't say it enough. Ben had a killer day on the track. Benjamin Burmeister really represented well today. Kane, the number 26 Ford Fusion, really looked well. He has every right to be super proud of himself. I thought he did a phenomenal job today in the You Lucky Dog Ford Fusion. That's a cool little paint, by the way. I just got a good view of it. That's a neat one. I like it a lot. Good job for Benjamin Burmeister. Behind Benjamin was Patrick Crabtree in the Raptor SVT Ford Fusion. He finished fifth to round out our top five, and that was the only 5 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Wow. Adam Gilliland in the gmercer.com of Chevrolet finishes in the 6th spot. A good day for Adam. Timu Living in the Sim Room Chevy finishes 7th. Chad J. Lawton finishes 8th in the Viper SR Chevrolet. Beautiful day for Chad. Nathan Saxon in the AMD 22 machine finishes 9th. And rounding out the top 10 is Greg McKinney in the Outlaw Chevrolet. Anthony Kernich finishes just outside of the outside of the top 10 in the number 11 position. The number 16 machine of Anthony Kernich, covered in bugs and a beautiful day for Anthony. I thought he had a great day. Finishing behind Anthony is Justin Bolton in the bestwestern.com Chevy. He finished 12th. All in all, Justin had a great day, finishing in just outside the top 10. His points will continue to stay up in the top of, he'll be up there in the top of the point standings. Brandon Coppinger, nice day for him in the Wahoo machine, finishes in the 13th, with Brad Newman finishing 14th. In the Clorox Chevrolet, Matthew Wright in the number 27 car finished in the 15th slot. He finished right ahead of Robin Williams in 16th. Back in 17th was the Scrabble Edition Chevrolet, Stephen Azzini. Kyle McCormick finished 18th, with Ryan Lowe of the Fast Track Sims Chevrolet finishing in 19th. Chris Hall, another Fast Track Sims machine, finished in the 20th spot, with Charlie Foster, new timer. First time I've seen Charlie in this series, in the 21st spot. Case Brinksma finished in the number 11 car. He finished 22nd. Jordy Lopez Jr. finished for 87 laps down and finished 23rd. We talked to him a little earlier in the show. Jordan Worth finished 24th. Unfortunately, his day ended early. Tyler Lawlin, finished 25th. Brad Davies, 26th. Billy Price, tough day, finished 27th. Same can be said about Derek Crawford, as he finished 28th. Josh Fox, 29th. And finishing out the field 161 laps down, Josh Skrupa rounded out the 30-car field here at Darlington. 183 laps around Darlington. The lady in black, the track too tough to tame. And that's how it was for the end of our race, Kane. It couldn't have been tamed. It was just the way it was. And that's racing, buddy. I hate to say it's Rubbin's racing. And it happened today and worked out in favor this time for Tyler Hudson, and got him his second win of the year.
Yeah, we can no longer say that we've had different winners at each different race, because Tyler Hudson is the first repeat winner.
That's exactly right, buddy. I thought it was just a phenomenal race, and but let's put a cap on Darlington. Yeah, we're done with Darlington. It's over. Done. Week 8. We have already been 8 weeks into the 2014 season, Ken. Can you believe it?
Yeah, that's crazy. The time is just flying.
Let me tell you,
what 18 races left.
I know, and let me tell you what I'm so pumped up about. Darlington's over. We got Richmond next week, okay? I love Richmond. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Then we're in Dega. My favorite place in the whole world. I love Talladega, Kane. It's anybody's week. I will be so happy for Talladega. Can't wait. And then we head up to your neck of the woods, buddy. We'll be in Kansas at Kansas Motor Speedway. That'll be very exciting. Then we'll be followed by Charlotte. So that will be awesome. And Kane, that may be our last race with Chevys and Fords only.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that is likely going to be our last Chevy and Ford only race, as we will be getting the Toyotas very soon, and the rumor is that we'll be getting them in the week 13 break, so fingers crossed, because I think that's really going to add a lot to the series. There's at least one skin I've seen, one driver's paint scheme that he calls it the Chevy Oida or something, Chevy Oda or something. And so I know there's at least one driver out there that's really looking forward to getting a Toyota.
We may see an entire field of Toyotas that week. I doubt it, but we'll see a lot of them on track, as it will be the fresh manufacturer out there, and it'll be very exciting to have Toyota as a part of the iRacing sim. We're very excited to have them here in the NASCAR iRacing Series as well. Well, that's going to do it from me here today at Darlington, Kane. A fantastic week of events. And we get glad we got to talk to Jordy Lopez Jr. For those that come and watch the race each and every week, come and have a chat with us in the broadcast booth. We'd love to talk to you. Check out the forums all week long at iRacing.com in the iRacing forums. Don't forget to stop by v8online.com to check out every broadcast we've done throughout this entire season. You can go back from race 1 all the way back at Daytona and watch each individual race all the way up to the one we just did. So it's pretty great stuff there. and we'll be happy. Anything else? Final words from you, Kane, before we head home?
No, I think that's it. What a great race. Caution free at Darlington. Have you ever?
No, but it's amazing. I'm so proud of these guys. They all deserve a big pat on the back. That was an amazing race. And for V8s Online, I'm JD Smith, and Kane Craft with me tonight. Great job calling all the action, pal. And let's go to Richmond next week. We're gonna have a good time. So, guys, remember to come into V8s Online for all of our wonderful broadcasts throughout the week. GT3 series on Tuesday nights, Monday nights, the V8 Supercar series. And don't forget our wonderful series Friday night, the V8's America series, broadcasted by Kane Craft and myself. And of course, always back here every Wednesday, same time, same place. We'll come to you live, same time, same place live next week from Richmond. Y'all have a good night.